Why do some people wear the same clothes over and over again? It's not laziness, and it's not a lack of style. For many people, clothing is a decision, and decisions cost energy. When life already demands constant choices, the brain looks for places to conserve effort. Wearing familiar clothes reduces decision fatigue and lowers mental load. There's also comfort in predictability. Familiar clothes signal safety to the nervous system. They're known, they're controlled, they don't demand attention. For some, repeating outfits helps maintain focus. Less time thinking about appearance means more clarity for thinking, creating, or surviving the day. And in moments of stress or burnout, sameness becomes grounding. The brain says, at least this part of my day is stable. So if someone keeps reaching for the same hoodie, the same shirt, the same colors, it's often not about fashion at all. It's about mental efficiency, emotional regulation, and protecting limited energy. Once you see it this way, the habit every fight starts to look different. Every friend group has one short friend, and no one remembers where they came from. They didn't join the group, they just appeared. Physically, tiny, but their personality is built like a nuclear reactor. They talk the loudest, argue the hardest, and somehow control the entire room. They'll start a fight, finish your food, and then disappear behind someone taller like nothing happened. You don't protect them, they protect you. Emotionally, verbally, sometimes aggressively. They have the confidence of someone who's never been ignored. They'll roast a stranger, challenge authority, and negotiate plans like a CEO. Everyone listens to them. No one questions it. And here's the weird part. If they ever went quiet, the whole friend group would fall apart. You're laughing because you know exactly who this is. And if you don't, it's probably you. They didn't choose the role. The group adjusted around them. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. And if you're still wondering, that answer usually loops Soften your opinions so no one feels uncomfortable. Being nice isn't enough. Attraction grows from self-trust, from standing firm in who you are, even when no one notices. The more you adjust yourself to be liked, the less magnetic you appear. And then there's availability. You reply instantly. You rearrange plans. Your life feels empty unless someone else fills it. People want to step into a life, not become the only thing in it. The truth is, attractive men aren't perfect. They're stable, they're grounded, they don't chase approval, they have presence, they have weight. And the moment you stop trying to be chosen, that's when people finally start noticing you. Most men never realize this is what's holding them back. Watch again and see. bruise is undeniable. It says this mattered, this touched me, this left a mark. For people who grew up having their feelings ignored, pain can feel easier to understand than comfort. Comfort feels unfamiliar, pain feels honest. A bruise doesn't gaslight you. It doesn't disappear because someone says, "You're fine." It stays. It validates the experience without permission. Psychologically, this connects to how the nervous system learns safety. When chaos or emotional neglect is constant, intensity starts to feel meaningful. Calm feels empty. Silence feels suspicious. Pain feels clear and grounding. Looking at a bruise creates a sense of control. I can see it where it came from. This doesn't mean someone wants to be hurt. Body learned to survive by holding on to evidence. The bruise becomes a reminder. I endured something, and I'm still here. Healing isn't about forcing yourself to move on. It's about teaching your body that safety doesn't yourself to care less. It means teaching your body that silence doesn't equal loss. That waiting doesn't mean abandonment. That calm can exist even without constant reassurance. And once you notice this pattern, you'll start seeing how often silence isn't the threat your nervous system is. Eye twitching is often dismissed as a minor physical annoyance, like drink water, get sleep, it's nothing. But for a lot of people, it shows up during something much deeper, prolonged tension, not just stress from one bad day. I mean weeks of holding your breath emotionally, because your body doesn't only react to danger you can see, it reacts to the danger you're enduring quietly. When you're constantly overthinking, constantly on alert, constantly trying to stay composed, your nervous system doesn't get to fully shut off. And the eye, especially the muscles around it, is one of the first places that shows it. It's like your body is saying, I'm tired of staying tight. For some people, the twitch starts during exams. For others, during relationship uncertainty, during financial pressure, during family conflict, during burnout. And what makes it worse is, you can't logic your way out of it. Because this isn't your mind, it's your body's battery running low. The twitch is basically a signal. Your nervous system has been working overtime, even when you pretend you're fine. So if your eye has been twitching a lot lately, don't only ask, what's wrong with my eye? Ask, what tension have I been carrying that I never released? What pressure have I been surviving in silence? Because sometimes the body speaks first, when the mind refuses to admit it's struggling. And the scary part? Your body will keep act cold and angry. Don't only ask what's wrong with them. Ask what happened to them that made them feel this was safer. The scariest part is, they still care. They're just angry. Come anyway. That's because crying for them isn't about sadness, it's about overload. When emotions rise, conflict, confrontation, tension, their nervous system doesn't escalate into anger. It floods. The body goes into a stress response, and crying becomes the fastest release valve. For many of these people, growing up meant this. Anger wasn't safe. Raising your voice had consequences. Expressing frustration made things worse. So the body adapted. Instead of fighting back, it learned to soften, to appease, to discharge emotion through tears. That's why they cry even when they're calm inside, even when they don't feel devastated. The tears show up before thought, because this reaction lives in the nervous system, not in intention. And the frustrating part, crying often makes them feel misunderstood, like their point is lost, like they look weaker than they feel. But crying isn't manipulation. It isn't immaturity. It's a body saying, this is too much, too fast. That expression doesn't require collapse. And once you realize crying is a stress response, you'll stop asking, what's wrong with me? And start asking, what happened to me? Some people feel an instant sense of disgust or irritation toward adults who act playful, silly, or childlike, laughing too loud, being expressive, needing reassurance. But here's the truth, that reaction usually isn't about the other person at all. It often comes from people who were forced to grow up too early, when someone had to be emotionally mature as a child when play wasn't safe. Softness wasn't allowed, and responsibility came too soon. Their nervous system learned a rule: don't act like that. So, when they see someone else doing it freely, their body reacts before their mind can explain it. That irritation isn't judgment. It's a protective reflex. Their brain remembers a time when being childlike meant being ignored, criticized, or punished. So now, even in adulthood, playfulness can feel threatening, not because it's wrong, but because it was forbidden. On a deeper level, that reaction carries grief. Grief for the version of themselves that never got to be carefree. Grief for a childhood that was skipped in order to survive. Disgust becomes distance, control becomes safety, and rigidity becomes identity. This doesn't mean those people lack empathy. It means they learned discipline before they learned safety. And until their nervous system learns that softness doesn't equal danger, anything that looks like childhood can feel deeply night. Their brain isn't chasing comfort, it's chasing certainty. And the irony? People who need the door closed the most often don't consciously remember why. Their body remembers for them. They're usually the ones who stayed. Some depressed people don't look depressed at all. They train themselves not to. Depression isn't always visible. Some people learned very early that showing pain makes things worse. So they adapted. They studied reactions. They memorized the right facial expressions. They perfected the "I'm good." It becomes automatic. Smile on cue. Laugh at the right volume. Maintain eye contact. Keep functioning. Over time, hiding stops feeling like lying. It feels like survival, because if no one sees it, no one asks questions. And if no one asks questions, they don't have to explain something. They barely understand themselves. These people don't fall apart in public. They compartmentalize. Their sadness gets scheduled. Late at night, in the shower, in silence. The world sees stability, but what they don't see is how much energy it takes to look normal. And eventually, the performance becomes heavier than the pain itself. Some depressed people don't look depressed. That doesn't mean they're fear, sadness, and crying. When your brain senses threat or injustice, it flips on survival mode. Adrenaline rises, breathing changes, muscles tense. But here's the part most people don't know. The tear glands are directly connected to that emotional alarm system. So when anger spikes fast, the signal spills over. Your body prepares to fight and cry at the same time. For some people, this pathway is more sensitive, especially those who feel things deeply or were taught to suppress anger. The tears aren't sadness. They're pressure release. Your nervous system trying to regulate itself before the emotion turns into something bigger. Once you understand this, you stop judging yourself or others. Anger with tears isn't weakness. It's emotional overflow. Explain it. And once you notice that, the silence starts to make sense. Sleep is the most dangerous thing your brain does every day. Sleep looks harmless. You close your eyes, and your brain does something terrifying. Every night, your brain shuts down the part that keeps you logical. Your muscles are paralyzed. Your sense of time disappears, and your mind starts replaying emotions you never finished feeling. That's why dreams feel so real. Your brain removes the safety filters. It brings back fear, loss, desire, things you ignore while awake. And here's the dangerous part. Your brain can't tell the difference between memory and reality when you're asleep. That's why stress follows you into dreams. That's why trauma wakes people up at 3 a.m. That's why one bad night can change your mood all day. Sleep isn't rest. It's your brain going offline to repair itself by reopening everything you avoided. And when you wake up, you don't remember most of it, but your nervous system does. That's why the most vulnerable version of you only comes out when you're asleep.